Today on CTV News at 5, a lengthy closure for a busy stretch of Victoria Street in Kitchener, the road improvement project and what it means for drivers. Plus, diamonds designated for dogs, why the city of Guelph is turning sports fields into multi-use spaces for people and pets. And cooking with seasonal ingredients, we find out how to use zucchini in 3 different delicious dishes with Emily Richards. CTV News at 5 starts now. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Construction is officially underway on a big road improvement project on a busy stretch of Victoria Street in Kitchener. The work isn't expected to wrap up until 2027, impacting drivers traveling through the area. CTV's Karis Mapp has more on the closures and detours.
Phase 1 of Victoria Street construction began today. As of right now, Victoria is closed between Fisher-Hallman Road and Stoke Drive. The closure will be in place roughly for 4 weeks. Then it will shift to the Victoria and Westmount Road intersection. Currently, there are reduced lanes at Westmount. People will still be able to access and use sidewalks during the road improvement project. Officials say the overall goal is to improve safety and traffic maintenance.
The scope of work includes rehabilitation of the roadway, upgrades to active transportation facilities in the area, providing connectivity to existing network facilities, underground storm sewer and infrastructure improvements, traffic signal upgrades, and new street lighting.
Phase 1 is set to wrap up by the fall, with Phase 2 beginning in 2026, scheduled to finish the following year. Karis Mapp, CTV News, Kitchener.
Police are urging drivers to make sure they know their rights when it comes to getting a tow. With bad actors on the roads, they say drivers need to steer clear of scams to get the help they need. Police say the most important thing drivers need to know is they can choose which company tows their vehicle, and they can say no if they don't trust the truck. They also say if a driver feels pressured to say yes or isn't sure what to do, they should call 911 and let police handle it.
There could be tow truck companies out there trying to solicit business. Again, the drivers have a right not to use them. They have a right to say, no, I'm going to actually wait for police to attend, or I'm calling my own, such as CAA. It's up to them. People should not feel the pressure of a tow truck comes up, I'm here to help you, pull you off the side of the road, they lock up your car, and now you're owning thousands of dollars for getting you signed a document. There's a lot of horror stories.
At 6, CTV's Alexandra Hollick hears from tow truck companies on exactly what to watch out for. The Ford government's plans to remove bike lanes on 3 major Toronto arteries has been deemed unconstitutional by the Ontario Superior Court. A justice ruling today that any removal or reconfiguration of the bike lanes on Bloor, Yonge and University that takes away the physical separation from vehicles violates the charter. The justice siding with Cycle Toronto in the legal challenge, saying the group has established the removal of the lanes would put cyclists at increased risk of harm or death. Premier Doug Ford campaigned on removing the bike lanes prior to his election win, saying they were contributing to gridlock. As we turn to take a check on the forecast, Alex is here with me now. It's a good middle of the week. The heat has subsided a little bit. We're getting that relief. It didn't feel anywhere near as humid out today as it did the past couple of days.
No, in the last couple of days it was feeling more with that humidex like we were in the 40s, but you know, feeling more in that 30 range, which is a lot more comfortable. And I'm not going to complain because it was hot, it was humid, and the first moment I stepped outside this morning, I was like, oh, okay, nice. I can breathe. It was a nice early morning dog walk, and I'm sure the pups enjoyed it too.
I agree.
So starting with the air quality statement that I do want to start with, special air quality statement, Bruce Peninsula, Sauble Beach, Tobermory. So you're under this right now. This is smoke from forest fires over the prairies that are making its way towards us. So again, that air quality, though, expected to improve Thursday. So you just might notice a bit more haze, maybe your eyes, nose, some throat irritation there. So something just to keep an eye on with that. So mainly some cloud cover for us here in Waterloo region. Not too much, like we said, a nice break from that heat and humidity. Right now, a pretty comfortable 28 degrees here in Waterloo region. So yes, definitely a more enjoyable day. And as we take a live look outside from the East 4th Trail, we're seeing just a little bit of cloud cover for us here in Waterloo region this afternoon, and a slight chance for a little bit of wet weather. Could be on the way, so we'll let you know. But then, good news, maybe a sunny stretch will be in store.
All right, we love to hear it. We'll take you to break and tell you what you need to know. If you're looking for a new friend, you can check out Speed Friending at the Duke of Wellington pub tonight from 7 to 8:30. Mix and mingle with people in their 20s and 30s at the free or pay what you can event. Stay with us. We'll be right back. It has been far too long. I'm so happy to be back in the kitchen with Emily Richards.
Yay,
great to see you, friend.
Nice to see you too.
Okay, today we are cooking with zucchini because you mentioned to me earlier, zucchini is really in season right now, and there's so many things we can do with it that's not just frying it up in the pan for our pasta.
Although let's say that is delicious.
It is delicious.
But yes, there's so many more things that you can do with zucchini. And let's start off with the size of zucchini. So I did bring some from my garden. They can get larger.
You've really been growing that zucchini in your garden.
So the leaves get so big, sometimes they hide under there. So look down low because you will find those large zucchini, and they're fabulous. I grew up eating zucchini in many different ways. And I think the freshness is sometimes what we miss. So having raw zucchini is actually quite lovely. And that's the first way we're going to prepare it.
Okay.
I love coleslaw in the summer. So we're going to do a zucchini pepper slaw. Okay. So we're going to make a quick little coleslaw dressing, a little bit of mayonnaise. And I love breaking it with a little bit of yogurt. So that's some Greek yogurt.
Oh, perfect.
It breaks the sweetness a little bit of mayonnaise. Some cider vinegar. And then I'm going to add a little bit of brown sugar in there.
Ooh, okay.
And salt and pepper. And a little bit of dry mustard, okay? So that's our coleslaw mix. Now, here's a secret. If
Wait,
you don't
could
want
you
to make this,
add yellow mustard? Because I
yes,
don't
you
have dry
totally
mustard
can.
in my
yes,
kitchen.
Dijon, yellow mustard, whatever you have.
There we go.
But if you don't have any of these ingredients, you can also buy a bottle of coleslaw dressing.
Okay, I have most ingredients, just not dry mustard powder.
So,
but I'll use Dijon.
Dijon would be lovely. It just give it a nice little kick. And then I did some julienne or grated zucchini, okay? So this is a couple of zucchini, nice and fresh. In they go with a little orange pepper that I've cooked up. Here, I'm going to give you this to toss with, and I'll take that from you.
Okay.
And then I also have lots of parsley in the garden, so guess what? We're putting some parsley in there
parsley.
too. And this is just a great, easy side dish that great with anything that you're grilling off the barbecue.
Yes.
The one thing you want to do with this, though, is toss it when you're going to serve it.
Okay.
Right? Because that moisture from the zucchini is going to leach out, and it's going to kind of water down your coleslaw dressing. So you really want to have that flavor, and there's just enough there to coat it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
So if you're taking this to a potluck, because summer potlucks are a thing, and so you can make your dressing, have your zucchini and pepper in a container, and then just toss them together when you get there.
That's
and it'll
perfect.
Be absolutely delicious.
Look how beautiful that is. It's
And
so
it smells great
green
too,
and
which is what I love.
summery. Oh, it smells so good. And so easy.
It is totally easy, and that's the thing with zucchini. I think sometimes, you know, when we have all these vegetables growing in the garden or we see them at the market, it can be a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
Just kind of take some home. And the great thing is we refer to these as summer squash. So we think of, you know, in the fall we have all this beautiful squash. This is squash too, but it's soft. So it's really easy and quick to cook. So in a stir fry, in a soup. This recipe that we're going to work on, though, is one of my favorites because it is a little bit of a riff on a lasagna.
And that is what I like about it, too. It's kind of like that low-carb lasagna if you're kind of doing a little bit of a diet or watching what you're eating or just want to mix in some more vegetables, right?
That's right. And that's sometimes the thing, right? Especially if you have kids or adults who are not vegetable fans. This is a good way to introduce it. So this is some ricotta cheese I have in here with eggs. And then I'm going to add some, these are Italian seasoned breadcrumbs in there. So this is the mixture, the filling that we're going to use for the inside of the rolls. And then I'm going to add some Parmesan cheese. Okay, and if you want these a little bit gooey, you can actually add some shredded mozzarella in here too.
Ooh, okay.
So more herbs from the garden, so some basil and more parsley. I am going to add just a smidge of fresh garlic in there too. And we're going to season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. So I want this mixture to be fairly stiff so that it doesn't add any moisture to our already moist zucchini.
Right, okay.
It has that natural juiciness to it. So what I did is I used my mandolin. I got these nice thin slices of zucchini, and we're going to roll them. Okay. So I left a spoon there for you and a fork, so you can just kind of take a couple tablespoons of this filling here.
And this smells so delicious.
This is just delicious on its own. My son said, why don't we just eat it like this? I said, well, because there's eggs in it and it needs to be cooked.
We need to cook it.
We do need to cook it. So just kind of spread this all across, and then all you're going to simply do is roll it up. Okay. And there's no toothpicks needed here. You can leave it so that it's kind of gooey on coming through on the sides. And then what I have in my casserole dish is just some pasta sauce. And I'm going to stand them up on end and basically fill that casserole dish. So if you have tons of zucchini, this is a great way to use a lot of it up. Now, if you're thinking, well, you know, I'm going to make a casserole of this, but I don't necessarily want to eat it all. Bake it first, and then you can freeze it.
Okay.
So then you can pull it out and just, you know, if you want to make some lunches and portion it out, you can do that. And then you have something for a nice summer meal. So this goes into a 375 oven covered for about 35 to 45 minutes. And you can put a little bit more cheese on top, some more of that Parmesan, or if you want that gooiness, add the mozzarella. And then you end up with this beautiful casserole of zucchini ricotta rolls.
It smells so good. It looks so delicious as well. Emily, you know that I can't leave without a sweet treat, so we had to turn zucchini into a dessert somehow, and you have managed to do it.
Zucchini loaf, zucchini muffins, they're hands down one of my favorites of the season. And this is just a great chocolate zucchini muffin recipe with added chocolate chips for the chocolate lovers.
Love it.
And again, make them, freeze them, because you know what? In February, when you're thinking, what happened to all my zucchini? Pull them out of the freezer and you have these beautiful sweet treats to enjoy.
Okay, let's try it before we let you go.
Take a big bite.
Okay. You're not gonna have one?
Well, no, I want to see you. I want to see your reaction. I've already eaten 2. There was a dozen here. You didn't count them, so you can't tell. There's only 10 left.
And they're gonna go really quick. Delicious. Emily, thank you.
Thanks, Leanne.
And here's what you need to know. Brewers Brass back for their first summer patio concert at TWB Brewing in Kitchener. Entry, pay what you can at the door. First come, first serve. No tickets or reservations needed. You can enjoy the music from 7 to 9 tonight. Well, we've been talking about how we've been getting some relief from the heat out there today. It was certainly a nice break because you could feel that break in the humidity. It It didn't feel as hot, even though we were into the high 20s.
Yeah, it was really breaking away from that high humidex when we were feeling more like the 40s yesterday and the day before. So much more comfortable.
It was bearable.
It was bearable. Still nice and warm overall. We got to see a little bit of sunshine earlier in the day. But looking into the rest of your afternoon, into your evening, a little bit more cloud cover is expected to stick with us. As we take a live look from East Forest Trail in the city of Kitchener, here at least we're seeing that sun peeking through the clouds just a little bit, but it is definitely a nice, comfortable evening to get outside and enjoy. Maybe grab a patio dinner tonight or just sit out on the deck a little bit. So again, maybe enjoying days where we're not experiencing that extreme humidity. So maybe you've been inside the last couple of days. Today might be a nice one to get outside, even just going for a walk. So still warm out there, but yes, nice to see a bit of a break from that extreme heat. I do want to start with a special air quality statement for some of you that is in place, issued by Environment and Climate Change Canada today. So this is for Bruce Peninsula, Sauble Beach, Tobermory area. So this is due to smoke from the forest fires we're seeing over in the prairies. So air quality, though, is expected to improve as we get into tomorrow, so your Thursday. So with smoke levels increasing, though, this is when we really want to limit any time outdoors. You might notice it is a little bit more hazy out there as well. And just a couple symptoms to keep an eye out for. So eyes, nose, throat irritation. Maybe you've got a bit of a mild cough. But again, that is expected to end as we look ahead to your Thursday. So getting into your evening hours, some cloud cover is noted for us here in Waterloo region. There are some scattered showers This hour, if you are in the Hamilton-Brantford area, even London, Port Stanley, Chatham-Kent could see some showers on and off as we get into the later evening and into the overnight hours. Then again, that cloud cover sticking with us. So really Thursday, I just want to pause it here, south of Waterloo region. So whether we're going to actually see it make its way to us here, we'll have to keep an eye on that for tomorrow. But some heavier showers expected again. If you're in Sarnia, Windsor, Chatham-Kent, Port Stanley, London, chance for a thunderstorm risk there as well. And you can see the darker green areas, heavy rainfall is expected. But again, it's slightly below us here in Waterloo region. So we'll have to keep an eye if it does make its way further north or not. Then getting into your Thursday night, mainly clear for much of southern and southwestern Ontario before many of us are expected to enjoy some sunshine for your Friday and getting into the weekend. So right now, 29 here in Kitchener-Waterloo, 30 in London, 25 in Mount Forest. And again, we're not feeling that extreme humidity, which is nice to see. Just above normal for this time of year. Record high, 37 degrees. That was back in 1916. On this day in 1925, we saw an overnight low of 7. So overnight tonight, cloudy with a bit of haze expected. Low of 17 degrees. Then tomorrow, 23. Mix of sun and cloud. The hazy conditions sticking around with a chance for some showers. And then over the next few days, take a look at that weekend. Sunny sky expected for your Friday. High of 24. And sun is expected to stick around for your Saturday and Sunday with some pretty comfortable conditions. 25. And then on Sunday, an expected high of 29 degrees.
The Home of Metal is honoring the life of Ozzy Osbourne today.
Thousands of fans lining the funeral procession route in Birmingham, England to pay their respects to the Black Sabbath frontman. Fans have made trips to sites around that area since Osbourne's death was announced, and family members of the music legend greeted them as they gathered to bid farewell.
Very emotional. Obviously, been a Black Sabbath fan for a long time, watched the Osbournes on the TV. So we've grown up with these being in our homes, so they're like our family, you know?
Yeah.
So basically it's like a big loss, especially after a few weeks ago he's done the Back to the Beginning tour, which unfortunately I couldn't make. But I'm glad to be here today with people who are like-minded, who adored him and adore the family, and we want to show our support today for him and his family.
Because Ozzy was an absolute legend. He's a soundtrack, particularly my life growing up. If you're a metalhead, he is and Black Sabbath are the originators of heavy metal and such great music. And he dared to be different because he was different.
The Crazy Train singer died last week at 76 years old following years of health struggles. His death came just weeks after he reunited with his Black Sabbath bandmates in Birmingham for a concert.
A long-awaited sequel had a strong debut on streaming several decades after its original film.
My name is Happy Gilmore. 30 years ago, I decided to give golf a try.
Adam Sandler returns in Happy Gilmore 2, which launched in Netflix last Friday. The company says it garnered 46.7 million views over its first 3 days, and that it would make it the biggest U.S. opening weekend of all time for a Netflix film. The sequel also prompted interest in the first Happy Gilmore, which ranked in the top 3 globally for a second consecutive week. Love an Adam Sandler movie.
I haven't. I mean, I've seen the original years ago, but yeah, the sequel's definitely on my list.
I haven't seen it either. Might be something we need to check out. Okay, a quick break. We'll be back with more news in a moment. But before we let you go, here's what you need to know. Explore Uptown Waterloo during the Uptown Waterloo Night Market every Thursday between 7 and 10 p.m. Taste local treats, enjoy entertainment from local musicians, and you can check out programming from the Waterloo Public Library. The Food Bank of Waterloo Region also on site accepting donations. Stay with us. We'll be back after this. In tonight's Digital Dive, a warning from the Grand River Conservation Authority. The GRCA warning swimmers and campers about the dangers of blue-green algae. It comes after a small bloom was spotted last week at the Bellwood Lake Reservoir. Our online team has more details. You can scan the QR code in the corner of your screen or head to ctvnewskitchener.ca. now the final 5 stories we're following. The Ontario government has torn up its $100 million contract with Elon Musk's Starlink internet service. The deal was signed to provide internet to around 15,000 homes in northern Ontario. The province will now have to pay an unknown fee to break the deal, but says it is considerably less than the original contract. 2 runways were out of commission for most of the day at Toronto International Pearson Airport after a rough landing for a small plane this morning. Peel police say just after 8:30 a.m., a Hawker 850 XP aircraft experienced mechanical issues but landed safely. There was minor damage to the private plane, which had 2 crew members on board, but no injuries were reported. Investigations are now underway. Flights continued to take off and depart on other runways, and Pearson officials said just after 5 p.m. that normal operations have now resumed. Diabetes Canada is calling on the federal government to restructure the pharmacare program. Under Trudeau, the federal government budgeted $1.5 billion over 5 years for the first phase of pharmacare. It also signed deals with BC, PEI, Manitoba, and the Yukon that account for more than 60% of the money set aside. The Carney government is not committing to signing the remaining 9 funding deals, saying that it's working with the provinces and territories to support them. Canada Soccer has launched a fan membership program to give people with deep pockets a shot at seeing Team Canada play at the 2026 World Cup. It's called Canada Red, and it is the exclusive platform to apply for Canada Soccer's World Cup ticket allotment. The first 2 tiers of memberships are free, but the more you pay, the better your odds are to get a ticket. The top tier of the program costs $5,000. There's no guarantee all Canada Red members will land tickets. And finally for us, the city of Guelph turning dozens of sports fields into off-leash areas when they're not in use right across the city, creating more spaces for pets and people. The program has 41 locations that will serve as a dual purpose. Officials say the spaces are for people first and pets second, ensuring that the fields are being used as intended.
I think it gives everyone the shared ability to use lots of fields and spaces in the city of Guelph, and with that it does give shared responsibility. Dog owners must maintain control of their dogs at all time, clean up after them, and if the sports field does become occupied, they'd have to remove their dog.
CTV's Ashley Bacon working on this story today, so we'll find out more about the program coming up tonight at 6, and we will leave it there. We'll be back at the top of the hour. Tony Grace has your next local newscast. For now, we'll send it over to CTV National. Have a great night.